He walked me up to the attic. He had a station in an attic. It was, way up in the peak, and it was all stashed away in the corner. And it was in its operating mode. I mean, he hadn't used it in a long time, but there it sat. And it was a KWS-1 transmitter. And I had already just purchased a 75A4 receiver. So anyway, there's a second half of the story that's really depressing that I don't want to get into right now because it'll probably bring tears to my eyes and I'll dilute my coffee. And we wouldn't want to dilute the coffee with tears. But bottom line is I paid $100 for that Collins KWS-1. And I brought it home and it worked. It was real cool. But I was, without going into the second part of the story, I was duped into the whole idea of you had to have plate modulation, high-level modulation, all this stuff. And of course, back then I didn't know anything. I really didn't know anything. And so I ended up, somebody told me that I had to learn about plate modulation and get myself a high-level modulated Valiant. I said I wasn't going to talk about this. And anyway, so I really wanted a Valiant suddenly, and I didn't want the low-level modulated Collins. So I put an ad in the recycler, and along comes a station. He responded, and he came up, and he picked the thing up, and he gave me what I wanted. I wanted $400 cash, and I wanted a Johnson Viking Valiant. And he picked up both the 75A4 receiver and the KWS-1, and I thought I made out like a bandit. And because I only paid $75 for 75A4. And anyway, I thought I made out like a bandit. And man, he was laughing all the way to his house with this brand new transmitter. And come to find out afterwards, that doggone combination's probably worth about $3,500 back then. I said I wasn't going to talk about this, man. I'm tearing up, man. My coffee's getting full of tears. It's diluted to 5 shots of espresso. It's back up to 22 ounces again, and ain't no espresso left. Let me get my knees up in the breeze. 8:10:9. I didn't mean to be so doggone long-winded. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I got it on video, Gate. The whole story.
You better believe that, man. I'll tell you. I even got I had a good deal once on a car. A friend of my dad's was selling a car, and I wanted this thing. It was cheap, and it was pretty cool, but it was a Polara 500, Dodge Polara 500, 1963. It was the car that got Dodge back on its feet again. It was the car, it was one of 7,200 made that had all the factory high-performance goodies on it. I mean, all the factory high-performance goodies. Even aluminum front end and exhaust cutouts. They had a 727 torque flat tranny with a push-button transmission, 383 high-performance. Anyway, it was one of 7,200 cars made. And I kept the window sticker, but I knew that it needed a lot of restoration work. It was far from, it was complete. It was complete, but everything needed to be fixed. And a friend of mine's mom wanted to have an old car. She just didn't care what kind. She just wanted an old car to restore. She was actually going to pay a shop to restore it. And so I sold it to her, and that's one of those things I wish I never parted with. It was an ugly car. Oh, God, the 63 Polara 500 was ugly. It was so ugly, it was beautiful to break.
122 on the rocky coast of Maine. You'll be waving.